so excited to have you here today. They're excited too for my new 4-week program, Sweat Smart. It is 3 weekly workouts for 4 weeks that make up a program for beginners and anyone who is just getting back into fitness. So like I said, each week we're going to have 3 workouts. 1 strength workout, 1 cardio workout, and 1 vinyasa yoga workout. This is a bodyweight strength workout, so you can do this anywhere, no equipment required. I do recommend a mat or a towel that you can lay down on the floor. We're going to be down on the ground for our 3rd circuit of this workout. So what this workout is, we start with a warm-up. We end with a cool down, and we have 3 circuits in between there. If you don't know what a circuit is, that's not a problem. I'm here to guide us today. Go ahead and get your music started. If you want a suggestion for music, I've linked my Spotify in the description below. I have all kinds of playlists on there. Don't judge. I have a very eclectic taste in music. I'm sure you'll be able to find something that you like, or if you have your own music that really gets you going, please go ahead and get that started. Get your towel, grab a bottle of water, and then meet me right back here. We're going to jump in with our warm-up. All right, so we have 5 warm-up moves. The first is a march with an arm cross. So driving one knee up as the other foot stays planted on the ground. If you feel like your chest is really tight, and most of us do have really tight chests from hunching over all day, make sure your thumbs are facing up towards the ceiling, and then you're giving yourself a little bit of a hug here as your arms cross in front. And I'm alternating the arm that crosses each time. All right, now we're going to come into some step jacks at the bell. Let me turn this timer up just a bit so you can hear it better. And what that is we're going to tap one foot out as we bring our arms overhead like a jumping jack, but we're stepping today. We're keeping this low impact, which means no jumping. Bring your mind to your core. You want to turn it on. Pull your belly button back towards your spine, like as if you were laying on the ground and someone was going to crawl over your belly. Maybe one of these two. I'm not sure if you can see both of them, but the darker haired dog is Charlie, and the one who's licking her paws is Fiona. Okay, so now we're going to come into a lateral walk. So we'll take 2 steps to the right and 2 steps to the left with our elbows bent. So the more time you spend with me here, the more you're going to see Charlie and Fiona. Actually, Fiona's pretty much a constant. Charlie, this is a rare sighting. She doesn't always like to be in the videos, so that means it's going to be a special day. So we're warming up laterally here, getting the blood pumping by bringing our arms into the movement. And we always want to move dynamically in a warm-up. We don't want to hold a stretch ever in a warm-up. All right, next we have butt kicks. Bring your arms out in front, shoulder height with your palms facing down. We're going to do exactly what it sounds like. Kick your heel to your own butt. And then we're doing a row with our upper body here, just pulling the elbows back. So we are stretching our quadricep, that big muscle in the upper leg in the front, warming up our hamstrings, the muscles in the back of the upper leg. And then we're also warming up our chest and our upper back. And like I was saying, we never want to hold a static stretch in a warm-up. Static stretching is for after the workout. Okay, now we're going to do a heel tap in the front. So heel tap. And you're going to press your palms out. So think about hugging your shoulder blades together as you press your palms out. Opening up the chest still, working those muscles in the chest. We will have some pushing moves in our workout. Don't be afraid, you've got this. Woo! Make sure your mat isn't gonna trip you up. All right, so now we have 60 seconds before our first circuit starts. And a circuit is a certain number of exercises that we're gonna repeat for a given amount of time. Okay, so now we have 60 seconds. And the 3 exercises in this circuit are going to be a squat, so a body weight squat. Then we're gonna come into a hinge, tracing down our shins, squeezing our buns to come back up. And then the third move is going to be a lateral squat, which is a side-to-side squat, and is a bit of a combination of those first 2 moves of the squat and the hinge. Just so you know, we're going to start in about 20 seconds with that squat. So if you need a little sip of water, take a sip of water. Otherwise, we're going to bring our feet a little wider than hip-width distance apart, and our toes are pointing out at 11 and 1 as if they were on a clock. We're on in 5 seconds, and we're going to squat down like we're sitting in a chair. So imagine there's a chair behind you, you're putting your butt back there, and then you're standing up nice and straight. Don't shrink yourself by shrugging your shoulders forward. Keep your chest nice and open. When you're down in the bottom of that squat, imagine that you're using your feet to pull your mat apart, and then squeeze your buns and continue pulling the mat apart to come up to stand. And as you come up to stand, we stop with our buns right over our heels, not pressing our hips forward. All right, so we're gonna get ready for that hinge. And what a hinge is as if you were folding in half. So butt goes back, chest lengthens forward, fingertips trace down to about mid-shin. Squeeze your buns, come up to stand. Take an inhale as you press your butt back, lengthen your chest forward, and exhale as you tuck your tail under and squeeze your glutes. And you can really exaggerate that exhale as if you were blowing out birthday candles. All right? So that third and final move is a lateral squat, and it's really the basis for any lateral movement that we do, which is side to side. Feet wide, toes facing forward. You're gonna bend into your right knee as you imagine that you're sitting down into a tiny chair behind you. Squeeze through the right heel and the right glute to come up to stand, and then shift over towards the left. Keep your gaze forward in front of you. So if you had a name tag on your chest, I would be able to see it the entire time. We never shrink ourselves here, right? We keep that chest open and proud. All right, guys, so we're gonna do those 3 moves one more time. Now we're experts. We're gonna go ahead and get started with that squat in 5 seconds. Feet wider than hip width, toes at 11 and 1. Sit down in that chair. Exhale, come up to stand. Inhale, come down. Exhale, come up to stand. Quick peek down. Make sure those knees aren't caving in. If they are, you need to press into the pinky edge of each foot and make sure that you're engaging your buns. We don't want those knees caving in. We want them tracking out over the middle toes. All right, now we're back into that hinge move. I'll come from this angle. So shoulders down and back, chest open and proud. Inhale, as your butt goes back, as if someone's pulling your hips back and your chest lengthens forward. Keep your gaze out in front of you. Exhale, squeeze your buns, tuck your tail under, come up to stand. As you come up to stand, we don't thrust our hips forward. We use our glutes to stop our butt in line with our heels. So these moves are all the foundations for any exercise that we're going to be doing in our workout. All right, so those lateral squats, or skater lunges as they're called, feet wide. Let's go to the left this time. Bend the knee, sit the bum back like you're gonna sit in a chair, press through the heel, squeeze through the glute, exhale to come up. Inhale to lower, exhale to come up. So this works our inner thighs and our outer glutes, which are really important for stabilizing us in running and walking and keeping our knees tracking in the right direction in movements like squats. All right, guys, we have a well-earned 60-second break. If you don't need that 60-second break, you can march in place, or you can give me more air squats in place. We have our next circuit coming up, which is going to be a split squat or a lunge on the right side. So the right leg is planted in front. And then we'll switch to the other side. The left leg is planted in front. And then we're gonna do everybody's favorite push-ups, but we're gonna do them standing, facing a wall, palms on the wall, and you're gonna press towards the wall and away from the wall. If you don't have a wall anywhere near you, you can do them on your knees, on your mat. Okay, we're gonna get started in about 12 seconds on that right side. So the right foot is in front, feet are hip-width distance apart, so think that they're on railroad tracks, not a tightrope. Both legs are gonna be straight to start. Inhale, 90-degree bend in both knees. Exhale, squeeze both glutes to come up to stand and give a good press into that right heel. So your hands can be on your hips, or you can cross them in front of you. Inhaling to lower and exhaling to stand. So that front quad and glute should be on fire. Okay, we're gonna switch sides. So, left foot is in front. Again, railroad tracks, not a tightrope. We have a lot more stability in our lunges when our feet are hip-width distance apart. And you can bring those hands to your hips. And we're not leaning forward. We're not falling back. We're keeping our chest directly, our head directly over our chest, over our hips. All right, the push-up. So we're gonna stand arm's distance from that wall, and you're gonna corkscrew those hands into the mats, or into the wall. So imagine you're screwing jar lids into the wall. Look at the wall in front of you. Inhale, bend your elbows, bring your chest towards the wall, and exhale, press away. Inhale, exhale. So imagine that your head and your elbows were the head of an arrow or the front of an airplane. The elbows aren't coming out at 90 degrees. They're coming back at 45 degrees. Your chest leads the move, and then you press away. Okay, we have each of those three moves one more time. So we're gonna start with that split squat on the right. So the right foot is forward, the left foot is back. I'm on those left tippy toes, working towards a 90-degree bend in both knees, keeping that gaze forward. And again, hands can be on the hips. Okay, so this glute that's in front is on fire because that is what's doing the majority of the work. It takes the burden off of our knees, okay? So we need to squeeze those glutes. All right, left foot in front. And then think about your chest, your front ribs. You want to pull them in towards one another, not have them splaying open. So yes, my knee is bending, but it is my buns and this left quad. Well, the right quad's burning a little bit too. Okay, I'm going to show you guys the push-up on the mat this time. So we're not directly on hands and knees. We're going to walk our knees back a bit so we're on that fleshy part above our knees. Again, corkscrew the hands into the mat. Our fingers aren't facing in towards one another. They're spiraling out away from each other. And then use your mind's eye to draw that imaginary arrow from the crown of your head to your elbows, is the arrow head, and the rest of your body is that straight line of the arrow. All right, so for the rest of the workout, we're going to be down on the mat. Now would be an excellent time for you to get a drink of water, towel off. We have 60 seconds before the third and final circuit starts. If you feel like you don't need that 60 seconds again, you can do squats, you can do side-to-side steps, you can move around in any way that keeps your heart rate going while I demonstrate the 3 moves. If you need the break, take the break. That's what it's for. Okay, so the first move is a dead bug. We start on our back. That low back is glued to the mat. And then we extend opposite arm and opposite leg. The second move is an opposite arm leg swimmer. So opposite arm, opposite leg. And then the third move is going to be a kneeling pull down. So join me on our backs. We're going to start with that dead bug. So shins are parallel to the mat. You're going to extend your right arm and your left leg. Exhale, come back to center. Inhale as you lengthen the left arm and the right leg. And then exhale to come back to center. Belly button is pulled back, in and up. And not even an ant could crawl between your low back and the mat. All right, flip over carefully onto your stomach for those opposite arm leg swimmers. So your shoelaces are on the mat. Arms are outstretched in front of us. Take an inhale. Pull your belly button back towards your spine. Squeeze your left glute. Lift your right arm. Inhale, lower. Exhale, squeeze the right glute. Lift the left arm and your head, neck, and chest. And continue alternating. And I want you to imagine there's a little thumbtack between your belly button and the mat. And you have to pull your belly button back towards your spine to keep that little thumbtack from touching your tummy. It really engages our core. Okay, so the third exercise in this circuit is a kneeling W. So start with your fingertips overhead, your thumb and your forefinger touching each other, and then use the muscles in your chest and your upper back to pull the elbows down into your side body. And your lower body is working. I am squeezing my buns here really tight. You don't want anybody coming up behind you and pinching you, okay? They are working as well. Exhale to pull the elbows down. All right, one more time through this circuit on your back for that dead bug. Tabletop with the shins, fingertips reaching up towards the ceiling. Inhale as you lengthen, right arm and left leg, hover the heel. Exhale, pull it back to center. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bring it back to center. And as you lengthen that leg, engage it by pressing through the heel. Imagine that you're pressing someone's hand or a door or something away from you with that heel as you find length reaching through the fingertips behind you. Okay, last time with those swimmers. So on our belly, and lengthen your chest forward, your tailbone back towards your heels. Find that thumb tap, and then squeeze your glute and squeeze the upper back. So think about drawing that shoulder blade down into its socket as you lift the palm away from the mat. So this is a core stabilizing exercise. You might not have known, but we have little muscles that run along our spine that support our posture, and those are part of our core. So everything from our glutes to our diaphragm is part of our core. And a lot of times people only think six-pack, but those spinal support muscles are super important. All right, W's. Squeeze your buns. Exhale as you pull those elbows down into your side, and inhale as you find that length, but keep those front ribs knitted in towards one another. That's how we know our core is turned on. All right, team, I hope you are as proud of yourself as I am of you. You did it. You completed the first workout in our Sweat Smart 4-week program. Be sure to come back here on Wednesday to look for our low impact, which means no jumping cardio workout. So we're going to definitely get our heart rate elevated. That one doesn't require any equipment either. And if you have time tomorrow or the day in between doing these two workouts, I recommend going for a short walk or a bike ride or doing yoga, something else that you enjoy that you can do and keep yourself moving. All right, so if you have time, please stay with me. We're going to do a quick stretch. So we're going to come into a child's pose, which is knees wide, hips back on the heels. And then crawl your fingertips forward. And then go ahead and come up onto your hands and knees, and we're just going to go through some cat-cow. So inhale, lift your gaze, drop your belly, cow pose. And exhale, press the ground away, cat. And just flow through that 2 more times. Stretching our core here as we come into cow, and then releasing our lower back as we come into cat. All right, we're going to shift our weight to our hips, and we're going to come to sit on our bum, and we're going to come into a figure 4. So you're going to cross the right ankle in front of the left knee, and you're going to sit up nice and straight and tall. So we're stretching the right outer glute. And we don't want to fall down onto the right. We want equal space between the right hip and the mat and the left hip and the mat. And then go ahead and straighten the left leg, straighten the right. Create that figure 4 with your left. And then walk the right heel in a little bit to deepen the stretch in the outer left. And then straighten the right leg, straighten the left. And we're going to cross the ankles, and we're going to come into a downward facing dog, so making an upside down V. And if it feels good, you can pedal out your feet here, which means bending one knee and the other. And then just very carefully walk your fingertips back towards your toes, bend your knees, tuck your tailbone under, and come up to stand. Virtual high fives, Give yourself a pat on the back. You did it. I'm very proud of you. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel so that you get the new videos as soon as they're released so you don't miss anything. I'll see you back here soon, friends.